Reaction to 1 Kings chapters 1 through 3. I'm a day late uploading this. If you are following along in real time, if you're behind, it doesn't matter, or you're picking this up some other time. Just didn't have time to upload a video yesterday. And it's an interesting thing that we have going on here. And as we're reading the history of the Israelite nation, we must remember that we have to see this in the grander picture of the story of Scripture. So if we read the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah, that's kind of the foundation. And in that is revealed, I believe, a God who cares more about the things he's made than he cares about himself. And he's continuing to be faithful to humanity and to the world in spite of our rebellion and rejection and disconnection. And if we look at these first 3 chapters here, as the kingdom is transferring from David to Solomon, David and Solomon do some things that line up with the teachings of God, but they do some things that do not. And so we must remember the teaching of Scripture, right? And the teaching of the Torah. And if we think particularly, there's instructions in Deuteronomy chapter 17 for kings, and they're not abiding by these. They're going their own way, and then the consequences ensue. And so sometimes, unfortunately, I think we can read, and it's good to focus in on where we're at in a story, but also we have to have the big picture in mind as well. And so David and Solomon kind of conspiring for this transfer of kingdom, and there's these assassinations and things that happen. That's not God's intent. That's not what God is teaching. However, the Bible accurately records people who are claiming to be in allegiance with God, yet acting differently. It reminds me of the second commandment in the 10 Commandments in Exodus chapter 20 that says, don't take God's name in vain. And what that is giving a picture of in the original Hebrew is to not associate myself or claim connection, allegiance, representation with God, and then act in a way that is vain or disrespectful to who God is in his character. And we as humans, we do that all the time. And we see David and Solomon and many figures out throughout the Bible doing that. And so it's this balance that is readers, it's difficult to have. And so I encourage you to think about the whole story as you continue to read difficult stuff. In the history of the Israelites, it's a difficult history. Some thoughts. Hope you are well. May you be blessed.